care. If you met his folks, if you met their mama, them family, they always on his side. Don't ever think that they not. Don't ever think that them folks like you. Our neighbors was out there, so fucking embarrassing. Like, I was crying. I ain't had no wig on, I had straight backs. I was sitting on the steps crying. This white lady gonna come up here and offer me a beer. She's like, you look like you having a bad day. No shit, I'm having a bad day. My nigga trying to kick me out. And I ain't got nowhere to go. Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, like this video, and you know what to do, subscribe to my channel. So I'm coming to you guys again with another story time finally. Guys, every time I think to like, oh, I'm gonna make this video, every time I tell myself, oh, you gonna make this video, I always like regret it, or not regret it, but push it off and stuff like that. So I'm just finally just sitting down and making a video. This is my truth. If somebody that knows the person that I'm talking about sees the video, I really don't care. This is me telling my part of the story. And please just leave me alone. Just continue to leave me alone. My lash is messed up, so y'all don't even do that. Don't even do me in the comments, y'all. I just literally took my butt off, just woke up just to do this video for y'all, and period. So y'all like my little hairstyle I, you know what I'm saying, came up with. I had another bow down here, but yeah, this needs another. But y'all, so let me get into her. So this is gonna be the story time about my ex and how this is my recent ex. We've been broken up for like 2 years now. Still been on and off and stuff. We just officially like, just y'all gonna get what I'm talking about. So boom, let me take y'all down memory lane. Let me take y'all down a yellow brick road. Let me tell y'all how we met and stuff like that right there. So boom, it was post-pandemic, well, no, pre-pandemic or whatever. The pandemic was just starting. Stuff was just like opening back up, so everybody had to wear masks or whatever. So I was with my best friend that day. I didn't have my son. We was in the mall or whatever. And so boom, I walked, you know, I was walking, minding my own business. Then I walked past this jewelry store with this security guard there or whatever. And then he just staring me down. We just staring at each other. It was just like, we just looking at him like, the fuck? You know how like when a dude stare at you now and like you just be like, you know, that's how I was. I'm like, but I was still looking. I'm walking at the same time, and he just looking or whatever. And I'm just like, okay. So then I'm like, what the fuck you got going on? So I'm telling my friend, like, what you got going on? So it's my best friend I was with at the time. One of my best friends I was with at the time. I was like, what you got going on? So I was like, I was telling her, I was like, look, we're gonna walk back by. So boom, we did our little shopping. We walked back by or whatever. Then I did it on purpose because I was just like, what? You get what I'm saying? So boom, we walked back by or whatever. Boom, I look back. And he just told me to come here, and we exchanged numbers, and it just went from there. So boom, we met when I was 19. He was what, 29? So he's a Pisces, I'm a Leo. So we met like in the summer of 2020. So that was the beginning of the summer. We met in like, I think we met like May. Yeah, beginning of May 2020. Yeah, so then boom, y'all remember how I told y'all in my last video of how I lost everything or whatever. I got into a car accident in July 2022. I wasn't able to work and stuff like that, and we had just got together. I was just going through a lot, and like he was one of the people I called like when I got into the accident. I was screaming and crying on the phone, you know what I'm saying, just stuff like that. But okay, so boom. Okay, let me just clear this up. Like, I was having dealings with other people. So, like, when we started talking, like, you know how when you first start talking to people, you don't just, for me, like, I had already had stuff going on, but I was already in the process of cutting them off because I was fed up. That's why I just gave my number out. I was a free agent. I had just got recently single from our last abusive relationship that I told y'all about, with a dude, he had a baby on me and stuff like that right there by his coworker. So, yeah, I had just got out of that relationship. So, I was just dibbling and dabbling everywhere, you know. I had me, like, 2-3 people on my roster or whatever. So, and I added him. So then I started, like, we started hanging out. Before I got to my accident, we was hanging out. He was coming over to my mom's house. I was living with my mom at the time. He was coming over to my mom's house all the time. We was sitting in the car for hours talking. Like, he told me he loved me first. Like, this was after, like, the first week. Like, it was insane. Like, we would sit in the car, talk for hours, then he started coming in. Like, I was just, he wasn't judging me either. Like, you know, I was standing in the garage in my mom's house and stuff like that. I was working at Goodwill. You know, he didn't even judge me. I didn't judge him either, but I didn't really ask him questions like I should have, you know. At that time, I was young and dumb, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So, the questions I should have been asking, I didn't ask. He didn't have no car. He didn't have his own place. All this extra stuff today will matter to me back then, I didn't ask none of them type of questions. So boom, we was talking, you know, talking the whole summer, and things was going well, and you know, it was just going well. Like I was just head over heels. Like I was just starting to cut off everybody, you know, and I was just like trying to focus on him. And at the same time, like I had my old car, and I told y'all in my last little video, I was in the car accident. I had the dude that I was talking to or whatever. He was working on my car. The dude that I was talking to, that I was been in the process of cutting off, he was working on my car and stuff like that. So I was kind of transparent with that, but I wasn't completely transparent. I didn't like really tell him that like we were still having like a little bit of dealings, but like when I went over there for him to work on my car, like I was literally like keeping it strictly like platonic, because I had cut him off because he wouldn't work for Hilla Bean either. So like I would just sit over there chilling. You know, he had came on to me one time, and I lied about that situation because I didn't want it to be like a big deal. Like the dude tried to come on to me and kiss me and stuff like that. He did kiss me. I said he did it. He tried to when he actually did, and stuff like that right there. So it was just like a mess. So it's just a lot, y'all, to like literally throw into one video, but I'm just gonna get through. So he knew about that a little bit, and then he knew like a little bit, but he didn't know for real. He didn't know actually what's going on until he went through my phone. We're gonna get to that. So I got into my accident or whatever. That was after I had the dude working on my car that I used to talk to and stuff like that. Like when I got into that accident, boom, everything, I was just like, I don't know what to do. I didn't have nobody to do nothing for me. So he started taking me to my appointments and stuff like that, because I didn't have nobody, like for real, like to take me to my appointments, to take me to therapy, to do anything of the sort. So we started getting really close, because I guess of that, I didn't have a job. He was always over there. I was sick. I was barely walking, trying to get my life together, and all this extra stuff, leave me hold along and stuff like that. So I really appreciate him for that, you know, coming into my life when I needed that. You know, at first I thought it was like love at first sight type. But okay, so boom. My birthday was in August. I got into the accident in July. I was saving up to get a car, so I just took the money for that to go on a trip. So boom, he paid for something, I paid for something, and we, keep in mind, we was only together for like 3 months at that time. So we planned a trip to Panama City. Like I was already planning the girls trip or whatever. One of my best friends at the time flaked out or whatever. She's no longer my friend or whatever. Then the other girl, I had to spend her money back because it was supposed to be a group date. And I was like, I really want to do something for my birthday, you know? So he was just like, man, bump them, you know what I'm saying? We can go together, you know? And I was turning 20. So boom, that was my first time, you know, doing everything. He got to rent a car, all types of stuff. Like it was just nice. So we went on the trip. It was like, I was in awe. Like, I don't know, it was my first like vacation for real. And like, we went to like this like restaurant on the beach. He gave me a promise ring, even though he couldn't hide it. The fuck, we got matching tattoos and all the extra stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? And it was just a vibe. It was definitely a vibe, y'all. I got his only, he got her one on his wrist and stuff like that, and it was just a vibe. Like when he gave me that promise ring, like I wanted to cry, but my emotions wouldn't let me. Like if you get what I'm saying, like if you so used to being hurt, and it's like you be like, oh shit, too good to be true, which it was, you know, like don't enjoy the moment. So after all that lovey-dovey stuff or whatever, I came back from the trip all happy and stuff. Like boom, I moved out my mom's house into my auntie house with him and my cousin. We was paying rent and stuff like that. So keep in mind, he was around me a lot. We was together a lot, damn near every day and stuff like that. And you know, it was just like that. So when I moved over there, he started being over there more. Then my auntie found out, and then she was like, oh, he gonna have to start paying rent and all this extra stuff. He was like, if I'm gonna start paying rent, I'm gonna have to stay here. We worked that out. So we ended up living together. Like less than 6 months of being with each other. Like we moved in with each other like in September. Like I was just like, what the fuck? So boom, like shit just hit the fan. Like one night I was asleep and I just had somebody like wake me up on my sleep. Like I think he threw my phone at me or threw a pillow at me or something, but I don't know. I just jumped up on my sleep, and all I see is this motherfucker like literally over there in his feelings. So I'm like, oh, first of all, why are you going through my group chat with me and my 2 best friends? Then you going through my co-worker messages and stuff like that. Like, why are you going through my phone? Then you going through my phone with the, I know you seen the messages from me and other niggas. Like, I don't understand what was your point of doing that. And we was happy. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was like you was looking for something to find, because you had a problem with me sleeping with my phone under my pillow when I've always did that. Like, before you. I've always left my phone under my pillow because I can't never hear my alarm, or I can never hear my phone ring and stuff like that. Like, I used to be like a real heavy sleeper for real. Like, at a certain point in time. So I'm like, why would you sit there and do that? I'll try to change my habits and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, I'm used to doing this. You know, so I guess he went through my phone when I was asleep. I don't know how he got in my phone. We didn't know each other's passwords at that point. I don't know if he used my Face ID when I was asleep. I don't know. Or he was looking on my shoulder when he found out my password. I don't know, but it just caused this whole big old blowout. And ever since then, I spent every day. That was like, what? 5 months into our relationship, 4 or 5 months into our relationship, I have spent every day of the last 2.5 years, 4 years we was together, and the time after that, trying to make up for what the fuck he saw at my phone. Like, it's like, ever since that day, like, you seen all that stuff on my phone. Granted, like, we had just got together, like, we're not serious. You know, we weren't really that serious. And then when it clicked to me when you gave me that ring, you know, on the trip, and I was just like, okay, boom. But I was just like, not messing with other people. You were so stuck on the fact of I was still messing with them when we was talking, or you thought it looked that way, that I was still messing with them when we was talking and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, like, my whole point was we wasn't serious, and you didn't give me time to cut people off, and I didn't know where this was going. You know what I'm saying? So boom. Every day since then, the whole dynamic of the relationship changed. Like, his trust in me, like, literally changed. Like, keep in mind, I didn't have no car at this time because I just got into a car accident. So my mom, she gave us this little pluck. We was getting around. I couldn't drive. He had to drive and stuff like that. So I barely was going anywhere. I wasn't going nowhere. So, like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then especially when you moved in with me, like, what's the difference? Like, we had even got into this big drag out fight one day, and I just told him to leave, and then he was crying and stuff like that, and then he left. But it was just like, I think that was before he moved in and stuff like that. But it was just like, it was just too much. So then after all of that, like, I tried to apologize. I tried to get past it and stuff like that. I thought we was gonna move forward and stuff like that. Like, and it just started big problems after problems after problems. We started fighting because we was living with my cousin. We started arguing about that stuff. Like, I was building my business, and I was doing good in those aspects. He was motivating me in those aspects. Like, stuff, it was okay, but it was just like, I couldn't like certain things on Instagram. I had to give him my password. My read receipts had to be on. My location had to be on. I couldn't post certain things on my story. I couldn't follow dudes back. If dudes follow me, like, if they dropped my DM, I had to automatically block them. Like, it was just a lot. Like, I couldn't even respond to comments, couldn't even like comments, couldn't even like dudes' pictures. I couldn't do a lot of things. I couldn't even respond to DMs. Like, no matter if they was telling me happy birthday, we're gonna get into that one. Because I told y'all about that little story time when I went on that trip. Go back to that story time. I'll tell y'all the whole story time. We went on a trip one time. He went on the whole trip. Because I used to mess with that I completely forgot about said happy birthday, and I said thank you. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, so yeah, like, okay, so boom. Let me just fast forward. We had a lot of fights, fussing and arguing and stuff, and like him accusing me of cheating. And when my business started blowing up or whatever, that was like March 2021. I had got my first car in my name by myself, like, because I was just tired of it. Because he had got, okay, so he didn't have a car and he didn't have a place. So while living with me, he was able to stack money, and I forgot how he got that car that he had got, but he had got a Camaro or whatever. Boom, he had got a Camaro. I remember one time he wouldn't even let me go nowhere by myself. Like, he wouldn't even let me drive his car. That's when I had gave that car back to my mom, that pluck back to my mom, because it needed a lot of work. So I gave it back to her, thinking that, okay, we got a car now, like, we good, you know, we in this together type shit. Like, he wouldn't even let me drive that car. He even told me one day, like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you to go nowhere. Like, what the fuck? Like, after that, bro, I made it my mission. I made it my mission to get me a car. Like, I was like, what? So, boom. Granted, February, March, boom, I got me some money. So, boom, in February, March, I got my income tax. That was like I remember this year, that was the biggest income tax I got, like, in history. Like, I got $5,500. I don't even care to tell y'all, but I was still, at that time, I was blown up in my business, but I used my taxes. I wasn't stupid. I didn't go buy me no car with my taxes. No, I did not. I wasn't stupid. I had went on and invested everything I needed to my business. I bought me a laptop. I bought me inventory. I did everything I needed, business card. Like, I completely leveled up my business. I did this, I did that, and boom, just like that, I took off. And then when I started making $10,000, $15,000 a month, like I think my first and my second month, when I had made like 5 to 10,000 or whatever. I went and got me a car. That was my first car. I had to put $100 down. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. My credit was good because I was paying off my debts. I ain't have nothing on my record and stuff like that. So boom, I got my first car officially in my name, and he couldn't tell me nothing after that. He could tell me Nathan after that. So then after that, like, my auntie started being hard on us. We just start arguing because of this and that. Like, it was just a lot of stuff that was going on, but it's the stuff that really started hitting the fan until, like, we really got into, like, my first official apartment. So boom. Granted, at this time, I didn't spend no time around his daughter and stuff like that. You know, I met his family and stuff like that, but it wasn't like it was, like, towards the end. So boom. After that, like, my auntie started saying, oh, we gotta go up on the rent and stuff like that. But we don't want to live here and we paying all this money. So no, we moved out and we got my own place. Well, I got my own place. I did all the work. So boom, we had tried to go inquire about another place, and our money went down the drain because he couldn't get approved for the apartment because he had an eviction on his record, I think, or something like that, or he had some stuff on his fucking record. He couldn't get shit. I didn't have nothing on my record. So boom, I just went about it alone. I was like, okay, let me just try to do it by myself because I make enough. And I did. Boom. So boom. The second place we went to, it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, for washer and dryer. It had a den place on my office stuff. It was just like perfect almost. It was just too good to be true. Washer and dryer connect, and it was just like 15-something, 1,500 a month, 15-something a month. So boom. Literally, I packed up all my stuff. We packed up all our stuff. We moved in there, and at first it was good. It was Gucci and stuff like that. So boom, here go the problems. Here go when the problems started. Like, I bought everything in there. The only thing that we went half in on was our bed that we laid in. Everything else I bought with my money because I was just like, I'm not finna wait months and months to get no furniture. And when I got the money, just because my partner don't have the money, I was like, okay, babe. I was one of them people like, if I got it, you got it. You know, I'm not finna let us suffer and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? And you, just because you don't have it, you know? And then it started becoming a problem with financial because, you know, we was splitting the bills 50-50. And that is honestly, as a woman, like, now that I look back on it, like, I don't want no dude that's just willing to settle for 50-50 or barely making it with me. Like, I'm so tired of broke dudes and building dudes up. Like, when I got with him, I felt like that was enough. I felt like that was good. That 50-50 that he was doing barely minimum was good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't pay like our whole time together. He probably got put something on my nails one time. He never got my hair done. He never got my nails done. I barely got flowers. They were only on occasions like Valentine's Day. Barely that. Now that I think back on it, I used to be so in love, and I used, even up until the last couple of months, I used to be like so head over heels and so like distraught and so heartbroken. And I think about it like, what the fuck did I gain from that relationship? He didn't have no credit cards. I had to put him on about that. When we went 50-50 at my last apartment or whatever, so we had to split the rent down the middle, $750 from each one of us, you know what I'm saying? So it got to a point where he couldn't even afford that. He couldn't afford his half, and I was just like, it just started becoming times where I had to give him money on his part of the rent. He would never pay me back. I wasn't like looking for him to pay me back. Or he'll need some gas, or he'll need something paid, or he'll need this, he'll need that. He'll ask me for it, and I give it to him. Or he'll complain about it, and then, you know what I'm saying? And I offer it, because I would just be like, bro, like, you know, it's no sense to me making all this money and you sitting here struggling and you my partner, you know. I have such a big heart, bro, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why, like, I feel like I be getting used. Like, honestly, I feel like I got used. Now that I look back on it, I feel like I got used, and y'all gonna see what I'm talking about, because everywhere he fell short, I built him up. The groceries every month, like, you didn't buy not now answer groceries with your money. I bought furniture, I bought Christmas stuff, I bought everything. I bought for my son, I bought for myself, clothes for myself, I bought shit for you, I bought. And the only reason why I was doing this because, like, you know, the pandemic or whatever, he got a little he spent a little on me, but he didn't spend a lot. He didn't give me no cash money. He was buying me stuff. Like, I don't feel like I can ever go to him. Our relationship, I don't think I ever borrowed no money from him when was able to get it. Like, now that I think about it, I wasn't ever able to borrow no money from him. And I'm going to tell y'all that down the line when I tried to, you know, be one of those. Because, like, how you tell me, like, every bitch that before me was a bum, didn't pay no bills, you had to pay all the bills. And when you get with me, you get what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. Or you want me to carry. I was carrying most of the financial load, bro. So we got into that place. We started arguing a lot. Like, he got mad because I was responding to DMs, liking stuff. He felt like I was cheating. It got to the point where I was just trying to leave. I started to get in my car. It was to the point one time he was chasing me around the neighborhood. And the first time he called me out my name, he said he would never call me out my name. And then after that first time he called me out my name, like, he didn't do it like on the strip. Like, he'll do it like when he get real mad. Like, and I was just like, wow. Like, I felt like when that started happening, like, I felt like it was really just it for me. Like, I started getting depressed. I started getting a lot of weight. I was 225. I was my heaviest. It sat differently and like versus my other relationships when I was big and depressed. Yeah, the weight was proportioned differently. He felt like it looked better. But at the same time, I'm still big as a blimp. I'm still wide as all outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of dealing with you and your ass. You getting mad at me because I'm doing this and I'm doing that when I'm not really cheating. I'm not doing nothing. I can't post nothing. I can't do nothing. I can't have no friends. I can't do nothing. I can't go nowhere with none of my friends. It got to a point where, like, I stopped talking to my friends. We'll go out with them. He'll always have to go. Or if he wasn't going and I was going, it's like a whole big old, you would say you won't have a problem with it, but then your whole mood will change towards me. You'll get a silent treatment, or you'll be like reverse psychology. Oh, you can go if you want to. I used to have to ask you to do it before I do anything, before I go anywhere, let you know I was very communicating. Like, I was just trying to build that trust. Like, the whole time I was just like, he would just throw up everything in my face that happened in the past. Like, every time. He'd just keep throwing stuff up. I'm not out here just effing dudes. Like, you just keep throwing stuff up. But when we was together for the first 3 months, you keep throwing that stuff up in my face. Like, every time we get into an argument, it's always me. I'm always the problem. It's always me. I'm always the one in the wrong. Like, I used to be so, like, bruh. It was one day, like, I threatened to call the police because he kept following me. I just had 911 pulled up on my phone so he could leave me alone. I was sitting in my car trying to get away from him. We was arguing and stuff. We was just almost got physical. He pushed me down. He slammed me on the sofa, because I was trying to get my son to go. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it was my place, you know, but I was just like, I'm tired of this stuff. Like, it started getting to the point where I was just threatening, like, you're going to have to leave and stuff like that. But I never put him out. I never packed his shit and be like, oh, you got to go. I threatened him, yes, because I was tired of that. I was tired of getting accused. I was tired of being mentally abused. Always like, oh, you doing this, or you lying. Like, just imagine you telling the truth and your partner just constantly think you're lying, or you doing certain things, or like, say for instance, you doing good in a relationship. Like, you doing good, you blocking dudes as you're supposed to, you're not posting stuff you're not supposed to, you're not, you know, doing stuff you're supposed to. You don't get no pat on the back, but let it be something bad, you'll drag that shit in the mud for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, it got to the point where, like, it got so bad, he stopped talking to you. It was like, I knew Matt was, like, I'm gonna just get to that later. So, boom, I was helping him out on his bills. I was covering his slack on the rent. I was buying all the groceries. I bought all the everything. Like, and now that I look back on it, like I said, like, I feel like that wasn't even enough. I'm so used to not even that, not even half of the rent, not even half of the utilities from a nigga. Like, you know, this was new to me. Like, living with my first dude, my first apartment, you know, it was just like crazy to me. Like, I just accepted some mediocre stuff, and then the more story get on, y'all gonna be like, girl, stand up. All that stuff you be talking, stand up. But like, when I love hard. Like, I don't love people for what they have, but at the same time, like, I had to have standards now. Like, he not even my type no more. Yeah, I'm sorry, like, he not even my type no more. And if you see this video, I don't care how you feel. Like, you know the love was there. Like, the love has been there. Like, the love even been there 2 years after we broke up. I was even willing to look past. It's always like what I did. And according to him, he never did nothing. He never did nothing. He never mentally abused me. He never kept throwing stuff up in my face. He never made my life a living hell. Never like just imagine, like, trying to prove yourself to trying to change everything about yourself, like, for your partner. Like, I wasn't partying. I turned into a grandma. Like I was doing everything to please him. Stop dressing a certain way, stop posting certain stuff. Like, it was just a lot, like, of my mental. Like, you know, I even started dressing a certain way. That's how I got into my girly phase, honestly. Because of him. Like, not saying that's a bad thing, but yeah. And then it was just bad. Like, he never got my hair done, never got my nails done, never paid my phone bill, never, like, I just don't know what it's like to be treated like a real woman for real. And I'm finna cry because Alright, now that I think about it, that's why I never want to do this story time, because yeah, the realization been hit me, but I can't help how I still feel, you know, because despite all of that, I'm not even done. But before I get into that, like, I love this man to the moon. I feel like he's my first love. Like, I thought I loved the motherfucker before, but it just said it had to go like that. Like, if you asked me in 2022, the beginning of 2022, if I thought my life would be how it is today, I would say no. I would not be living on my own. I would not have a new car. I would not be working a job. I would not be a single mother again. I would thought I would be married by now. Like, you know, that was the goal for me. But despite whatever we went through, I was never intentionally trying to give up on the relationship. Like, I fought hard. Even I didn't call me out my names and mentally abuse me, always accuse me of stuff, but I was not doing nothing. Like, even when I was doing stuff, I would act out because, like, I wasn't happy. Because, like, even when I was trying to be the best girlfriend, I would cook, clean, I would stay at home. I didn't go nowhere. Like, I didn't have no friends no more. It was just a lot, man. I moved out I broke my lease at my first apartment for him so we can get cheaper rent down there 30 miles away from my family, my friends, in the country, in nowhere, Newton, Georgia. Just so we could pay $800 rent to live in one fucking loft with no walls. Keep in mind, I got a son. I had to sacrifice. I didn't want to live down there. I didn't want to live like that. I like my walls. I like my apartment. You know, but it did have mold problems and stuff like that. We did have to leave. But boom, he said, well, CC, the movie in. We came up with that together. You get what I'm saying? I came up with half, he came up with half, and stuff like that. And without me, he wouldn't be able to move in there. Most of the utilities was in my name. I just transferred them, you know what I'm saying? And we moved down there, all the furniture and stuff like that. And keep in mind, his mom and his brother lived in the building. I would never do that again. His grandma lived down the street. I would never do that again. And it was just like, started becoming a lot. Like, they would come over there a lot. We'd go over there a lot. It was starting to get into our relationship. When they started getting into our relationship, I feel like that's where it just went downhill. But like, when we got in there, like, it just became worse. Like, I had to adjust, like, to being down there in the country with nobody. I didn't know nobody. Like, had to adjust to a lot of things. Like, and his mom could always see when I'm coming and going. Like, I think one time she even told him that I left one time, like, cause her camera was sent. That's why I said, I don't care if you met his folks, if you met their mama, the family, they always on his side. Don't ever think that they not. Don't ever think that them folks like you. They playing in your face like they playing in my face. I thought them folks really cared about me and my child when they showed their true colors when we was going through it, when we was breaking up. So, boom. So, we moved down there to satisfy him and stuff like that, help him out on the rent and stuff. Like, I was getting bigger. I was making money in my sleep. I didn't have to do nothing. I was making money. I was so lazy. I got so depressed and lazy. I barely even want to go nowhere. The store was across the street. I would still order groceries. I would sleep all day, get my son up for school, barely was packing orders. I started getting unhappy with my business and my personal life. I had to stop smoking because of him. He wouldn't allow me to smoke. I got social anxiety because of him, because I was always sheltered. I could go nowhere with my friends without him. If he wasn't there, I couldn't go. If you didn't see me and him together, you wouldn't see me at all. So it was just like that. And then when I finally started, slowly start bucking and like, man, this. Like, I started just leaving in the middle of the night when he would sleep, when we argued and stuff. The arguments started to get so bad, like, and then the wall was thin, like, it got to the point where people would know, like, in the building that we was arguing. So, like, he was arguing about stupid stuff, like him accusing me of cheating, like just every just little bit of just knick-knacking and just picking at me, like, just kept picking at me. Just imagine somebody just keep picking at you, calling you a liar, doing all this extra stuff, just accusing you of, like, doing stuff you're not doing. And then bringing up old stuff from the past. Oh, you did it once, like, you'll do it again. Like, I really fucked around on you when I didn't. I never. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, it was too much for me. Like, it was too much. Like, if you found what you were looking for, like, stop on, if he would have never went through my phone that day, like, never. We was together 2.5 years, and he was still hanging stuff over my head from when we was together for 3 months. Like, even throughout the relationship, y'all responded to this. When y'all go look at my story time, the Miami story time, where I went to Miami and his trip was on, that was about him. Like, it was several instances like that. Like, it was just crazy. Like, let me respond to a comment. Let I accept the dude DM without blocking him. It'll be like a whole problem. Silent treatment, all type of stuff. Like, it was just insane. So let me fast forward. Like, I don't even remember every argument, but it was starting to get to the point where I was sleeping on the sofa. It was the point where, like, I done packed my bags a couple times, tried to leave. Like, the weeks leading up to us breaking up, like, it was just so hectic. I was being petty, yes. I was posting moving boxes on my story. Like, I was even, like, doing research of, like, trying to plan to move. Like, I was literally, like, praying to myself. Like, it was getting so bad. Like, I was crying. Like, I was always crying. I was depressed. I was just like, God, if it's meant to be, let me keep fighting it through. Like, I just want to get out of this relationship. I didn't know how I was going to get out of this relationship because the apartment I got on my record. It was just a lot of stuff. I didn't know, like, how to be on my own again. Like, it was just like, and then he got me to the point where I was so dependent on him. I was thinking I couldn't do it alone. And I could, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't never want to be dependent on a person that much that I feel like I can't think for myself and stuff like that. I stopped talking to my family. I just completely isolated myself, like, you know the feeling, like, and I was depressed. And then all the stuff that was happening with my business, and at the same time we was breaking up and stuff like that. So just imagine your business failing, your 6-figure business failing, and you trying to figure out what you gonna do, trying to get out of a relationship, a toxic, abusive, mentally abusive relationship. He did, like, boom, like, it was a couple of arguments where he done, like, lunged at me, grabbed at me, choked me up, like, all type of stuff. Like, it was just like, I was just like, I don't know. And it was like, I was at a point where the lowest in my life, I was going through all that, and then on top of that, like, this what you do to me, you get what I'm saying? I said, the next time you threaten to put me out, I'm going. And I stood on my word, bro. He started saying, like, okay, the place was in his name, but I broke my lease for you. You get what I'm saying? And so I moved down there, and the lease was in his name, and I couldn't figure out why he wouldn't put me on there. He didn't want to put me on there for nothing. And now that I see that what he was doing, it was a plot. It was a plot the whole time. I feel like he been knew he was gonna break up with me. He been knew that. And now I feel like, now that I look back on it, and now looking back on it now, and how things played out, and how he never asked me to come back. He never asked me to come back. And I was waiting, and I no lie, I was waiting on it. You know, like, even after all that stuff we went through, like, when the weeks was, you know, he started threatening to put me out, and I was like, next time you threaten to put me out, I'm gone. And then I was like, okay, boom, he did it again. So I was like, let me start looking for me a place to go. That's when I started posting them boxes. It was right after my son's birthday. Like, I was just spent a whole bunch of money. So I really didn't have, like, I just had like $3,000 saved up. And then that spring break before that, I took us on a trip and I paid for it. I took us on a trip because we needed it, and even when my business was in the process of failing and stuff like that, even when we was arguing, I said, we need a trip, maybe this is what we need, and I paid for the whole thing, no problem, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, okay, maybe, like, we could start, like, trying to fix our relationship, leave stuff in the past, all the fussing and arguing, we get through it. It just didn't get better. And yeah, so boom. Let me speed this up. So he was like, oh, you know, he started packing my stuff up, started putting it by the door. Like, when I came back from the store that day, and he packed my stuff up. This today, he, like, literally tried to say, oh, you gotta leave today. You gotta pack all this shit, leave today. Like, he literally, I came back from the store, was for the pack some orders in my business. He came in, his car was repoed, and he took it out on me. Like, oh, you didn't see my car to drive in the parking lot? I was like, I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was gone. I didn't know your car got taken. Like, cause that, them couple days before that, I was barely seeing him. I didn't know where he was. I think he was still at his mom's house. He'd come in the house like when I'm asleep, or he was barely there. So I didn't know where he was. I thought he was just gone. He was like, oh, my car got repoed and stuff like that. And it's just, I feel like he took it out on me. How was that my fault? You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have helped you out if you wanted to. But at that point, like, you know, and it was just like crazy. So he started packing my stuff up, putting it towards the door. He was like, oh, you gotta go. Like, my son, like, he wasn't there at the time. Like, he was at my best friend's house. And he was just like, this time, like, I felt like it was for real. Like, he was just like screaming and yelling, and I was getting his mom into it. It was not the first time his mom got into it, but I was just telling her to come get him from trying to put my stuff out, because like, you can't put me out. I told him to give me to the end of the month. I been told you to give me to the end of the month and find me somewhere to go. Now you saying I gotta leave today in less than 24 hours. So boom, like, we start arguing, we start going back and forth. I don't even know if I still have the videos in my phone. I think I deleted them. But I recorded the whole situation, and then his fat ass mama gonna stand on his side. Oh, well, if he wants you to leave, you gotta leave. Oh, cause my name not on the lease. Cause I was paying bills here. Everything in here, my mail coming here. You can't tell me to leave. And even when the police came, he called the police. Even when the police came, like, you really like, that shit just broke me, bro. I called my best friend crying, screaming. I called my grandma crying and screaming. It hurt because I was so fucking hurt. I was just like, this nigga really trying to put me out. And I thought I done did for this motherfucker. You get what I'm saying, y'all? Like, this shit really broke me, bro. Like, I looked at it like, you put me and my son out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything. Like, and I feel like that was one of the reasons why he put my name on the lease, because he knew what it was. Because we didn't even move in. We wasn't even there a whole year, for real, before he put me out. We moved in like that November-ish, and then he put me out in that June. You had no intentions, bro. You had no intentions. You had no intentions. You knew what it was, bro. Because he never asked me to come back. And then when I left, like, he gonna try to give me a hug. Tomorrow it's gonna be okay. What the fuck you mean? I couldn't even look at him without crying. Like, I was just so fucking hurt, because I was on the steps, you know, down there. Our neighbors was out there. It was so fucking embarrassing. Like, I was crying. I had a wig on. I had straight backs. I was sitting on the steps crying. This white lady gonna come up here and offer me a beer or something, like I'm having a bad day. No shit, I'm having a bad day. My nigga trying to kick me out. And I ain't got nowhere to go. I had to move back in with my grandma, bro. That shit ate me up. And then he was so spiteful. He didn't even want my mom, my best friend, or my dad to come in and help me move my stuff. He would try to, like, be so spiteful. Like, during my packing my stuff, he was saying all types of mean stuff to me. Like, oh, he talking about my weight, my skin, and he know I deal with stuff like medically. Like, it just was like, talking about lots of hoes, all types of beats, like, just too much. And then even like, since we broke up and stuff, when we get arguing and stuff, he'll just call my phone. Oh, that's why your last nigga beat your ass. Like, he was just like, even like, mental abuse is a thing. Like, when you let somebody take control of you like that mentally, you get a lot of power over you. And I had to learn how to detach from that. So boom, fast track. I was at my grandma's house 2 weeks, found me a place to stay, got my own place. You know, yeah, I was still in my feelings. Yeah, we were still messing around and stuff like that. Boom, let's fast forward. I fell out my best friend because of him. Again, I fell out my best friend after that because of him, because she seen me with him and she blew up because she's like, I helped you get over him. I seen what he did. Like, and now that I look back on it, like, you know, I understand. Because he's no good for me. He's still no good for me. You see how I'm crying now? You see how I feel about it? Because we never really left. If we would have left each other alone that day, I would not feel like this today. I would not be sitting here crying damn near the whole video. That's why I didn't want to make the video. So, boom, I got my own place and stuff like that. He came around to my birthday and stuff. He thought we was going to get back together, and then I started being on my time. Like, it was just back and forth. It would be like, oh, he wanted to get back together and work it out, and then I wanted to get back to where they work it out, and then he did, and I did, and it was back and forth, and I was just doing what I was doing. I was messing with other people. Yeah, like, so what? You know what I'm saying? So boom, I think it was the end of 2023. He didn't have no car. It was just life was life, and life was beating his ass. And I started feeling bad for him, and I went up there and signed on the dotted line for him a car in my name completely. And tell me why this nigga wrecked the car and then left me with the bill. Gap insurance didn't cover. I had to pay for it, and he didn't give me one dime. And that's all, just sit on my credit, making my credit bad. And I just had to pay it all out because I couldn't get a new car. The new car I got now, I couldn't even get a new car. I was planning to get my own self a car, and I sacrificed and I got him one. I thought I was gonna be a co-signer, but I had to be the whole owner because your credit like that. So I got him a car. Like, even after we broke up, he still like called and asked me for money. I was sending it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was no bad blood. Like, we still effing around, of course. But it was up until this year, until the end of last year to this year, where it started, like, slowly dying down. Like, yes, boom, y'all, yes, I did. Okay, well, I'm gonna get into them story times where I got burnt. Since I've been single, I got burnt, y'all. I got burnt. We're gonna talk about them story times. I don't even know if I told y'all, but yeah, I got burnt, baby. And then somehow it got to him or whatever, but it's not my fault. You still want to deal with me? Karma's a bitch. Like, at that point in time, I didn't even care. Like, you still want to deal with me? I don't even care. I don't care. I don't care. And to this day, I don't care. And I don't even know how many times it happened or whatever, or us getting burnt. But hey, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Like, I'm single again, back on the prowl. Like, I know it's this treacherous out here in these streets. I'm a retired vet. Like, what y'all want me to do? I'm just now getting back in the field. I'm not ashamed to say anything, because I done been through a lot. You know, I done been abused as a child. Like, I done been through a lot. I've been almost napped. I almost been in traffic. A lot of stuff I done been through. And not to say this, but, like, I done been through some stuff, man. Like, I'm surprised I done made it. And, like, that's why when I got into that relationship, I thought this is it. Like, I used to think I didn't deserve love because of what I went through in my life. Like, at a young age, 9 and 10, 11, like, I was abused, you know, sexually and stuff like that. And my whole family found out. It's just like, it was just a lot. I'm not gonna talk about that. It's a different story time. But yeah, so even up until this day, even up until this day, we still talking and stuff like that. He even came to work at my job twice, and I had to see him then. Like, it was just a whole lot. He was still calling me and cussing me out. He just called me blocked and restricted the other day, like 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago. Like, and he keep coming into my life now that I'm, like, not on his bumper. Like, I used to be trying to, like, be on his bumper, trying to prove that, like, okay, I'm ready for, like, this. I want to be back with you and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the fuck I'm begging you for? And it's people begging me, and it's better out there. It's somebody that want to give me flowers every day, somebody that want to take me out without me paying, somebody that want to take me on trips, somebody that want to buy me this, buy me clothes, get my hair done, help me out financially, you know, spiritually, emotionally, not call me out my name, be a good stepfather, you know, a person that actually want to love me for me, not want to change everything about me. I was like, I started to realize my worth. That's what my whole point was, work on me this year, bro. And I realized my worth. Like, now that you see, like, I'm not on his bumper, yeah, I still love him. Despite everything, I still love him. After him putting me out, after me having to pay his bill, after me giving him a car, and after being mentally and sometimes physically abused. Like, oh yeah, we got to fight. And yeah, I put my hands on him first, but it was just like, I was so fed up. When you know you fed up, I was so fed up with, like, the mental abuse, bro. I just had to let it out because I was so hurt. Like, I wanted to cry. I was tired of crying, and I was tired of him looking at me as weak. So I was like, bro, like, stop playing with me, bro. Like, I don't really get like that. Like, yeah, I hit my head. He pushed me down. Like, it was just a lot in front of my son. Like, it was just a lot, bro. And now he feel like he just stopped talking to me every couple months. He'll come back in my life, act like he want to mess with me, have sex, doing all this extra stuff. Oh, you know how you just my person. Like, make it seem like he don't never want to move on and stuff like that. But you'll stop talking to me for, like, months after that. Like, you'll just up and disappear. Like, you'll mess with me for a couple days, you know what I'm saying, a couple weeks, and you'll disappear for a couple weeks, and then not respond, not call me back. Like, on my birthday, my past birthday, he was supposed to come and be my little yeah for my birthday. He didn't even answer. He didn't respond, and I had just seen him the day before at work. And that shit broke me, bro. That shit just broke me on my birthday. Like, literally just in August. I blocked him after that. I said, I'm done. I'm completely done. No more. You can't even come crack it. You can't even come hit it. Even though you're my best eater, you can't even come. You can't even. Not no more. And I just told him that. He was going to try to, like, manipulate me and gaslight me, talking about, oh, if you want me to leave you alone, that's what I'll do. What? Your actions is showing me that you don't want nothing. You don't fuck with me for real. You just like you becoming like all the rest of these dudes. Like, I can't see nothing what you doing. And then when I was lurking and stuff like that, you becoming just like the dudes you swear you wasn't. You get what I'm saying? You following all these half-naked bees out here and all that extra stuff. Like, what? And the D ain't even, like, D is average. I'm settling because you an eater. That's all. But it's all about how you use it at the end of the day. But, you know, I loved him, like, real bad. And I still do. Even after, like, talking about all this with y'all, even though I know I deserve better, I'm going to wait till I get better. And I'm not going to, I want to be married. Like, I do. I want to be married for real, for real. For real. Have a real marriage, a real wedding. You know, have a family, have a house home. Like, I never realized that until, like, being single, like, for so long, for 2 years. Like, I'm lonely. I'm not even afraid to admit it. Like, I be lonely, and then when I be giving people my time, they be playing in my face. Like, daddy saying it's so trash. Like, dudes will literally play in your face. You'll open up to a dude, and then here it is. That's why I treat these dudes like nothing. I get called an a-hole on a daily basis because, baby, I don't play the radio. I'm not a green. I'm not a jelly bean. I know the plays from a mile. And I play along with it sometimes. Sometimes I do entertain that stuff. So that's a toxicity in me. I gotta let that shit go. I gotta stop feeding into it. I know they don't be working too damn fly. And I still entertain it. I still look ride until the wheels fall off, until I don't want you no more. That's what it's giving right now. Like, that's what it's giving. Like, I put a nigga for a couple minutes and leave him alone. And they be like, oh, why you stop working with me? Cause you think that's all I want is to be buddies? I want more than that. Like, what? And if they don't do the stepping, you know, and if I have to say something about it, then that's even a bigger issue. Toodaloo, ho. You must not know I get taken. Yeah. But yeah, y'all, so that's pretty much the end of the story time. I left a lot of things out because it's already a long video. But yeah, like, just know your worth. If you're looking at this and you see me crying and boo-hooing and I'm still in love with a dude, well, love a dude, not in love, have love for, you know, just take this, like, love yourself, know your worth. Don't change yourself for nobody. Yeah, you can change yourself for just a few things for your partner, but don't change yourself and, like, don't isolate yourself. Know your worth. You deserve flowers. You deserve your nails to be done. You deserve your hair to be done. You deserve to take on trips. All expenses paid for. You deserve everything. Even if y'all doing 50-50, you still deserve a man to think about you, to get you flowers on a regular Tuesday. You still deserve a man that's going to try. Even if he is, you know, struggling and stuff. Try. Like, he could have did a movie night for us. He never did that. Like, he never, I thought I had, like, that's the most I done got out of a dude. Like, I always deal with broke bums. Like, I want me a dude with some, on my level, with some going for that wants a family, that don't mind. I don't mind doing 50-50. I hold my own way. See, I'm paying my own meals right now. But I don't mind doing 50-50. It'd be like 70-30 though. Give me, like, help me out. Oh yeah, I forgot to add that in there. When I tried to tell him that, okay, boom, you can pay all the rent now and I just pay the utilities, why he wasn't going? He didn't want to do that. He did not want to do that. It was insane, y'all. Like, he tried to, like, he got mad. Like, that I asked him, and I'm like, what? Y'all the whole thing contribute nothing. You at least give me some slack for being the main breadwinner around this mug. And then, y'all, it started getting to the point where he started getting jealous of what? Yeah, that played a part in it too. He started getting jealous of my success, jealous of my business, because when it started going down, oh yeah, that's where your business went. You couldn't wait to say that, huh? He didn't think that I was gonna be able to move on without him. Like, when he seen me get my new place, he didn't think it. And then when I told him, like, I just expected him to ask me to come back, but I couldn't. I didn't wait on it. Y'all see, I got an apartment 2 weeks after. I didn't wait. But yeah, y'all, so I've been through a lot. I still left out some stuff, but y'all get the logistics of it. Just love yourself, know your worth, and you that girl or you that guy. If you're looking at this, you're a guy, you go through similar situations, vice versa. Like, love yourself. Don't love nobody more than you love yourself. That's all I gotta say. Work on you, you know. Being in a relationship and it ain't all what it cracked up to be. Being single ain't all what it cracked up to be. Just what's for you is for you. You know what I'm saying? Just love yourself. Like, take this time to reflect on yourself. Work on your goals. Work on you. Period. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, y'all. I'll see you guys in the next video.